welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And today we are hopping back into the next 2 chapters of Eclipse.
Yes, before we get too deep into things, just a reminder, you can find us on all of our other social medias. They are linked in the description below. If at the time you're watching this, TikTok may or may not be available. So we do say that you should go over to our other social medias, click that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get notices of all of our content. We have so much there. I'm not going to go through the entire thing this time because y'all know the deal by now. And as for a summary, well, Jacob kissed Bella, Bella punched Jacob, broke her hand, and now here we sit.
Yep.
Those
Also,
are the highlight.
Don't mind the Christmas lights, mostly on Connie's side, but for us, Christmas has not come yet. So
No.
every decorations are staying up.
Even still, in Minnesota in January, we like to keep our Christmas decorations up for a little bit. And oh my God, Johnny and I have to do that tonight before the in-laws come. That's all important. They'll be part of date night.
Yeah.
It's bleak up here in January.
It is. I usually keep all my Christmas stuff up until all the snow's gone. So get used to it if we're going to be here.
Yeah.
Christmas will probably be up for a while.
It's fun. It's jolly. It's holly. We love it.
Right. Well, are you ready to get into something not as jolly or holly or perfect?
It's Eddie, boys. The answer will always be no, but let's go.
All right. Chapter 16. Bella's throwing her clothes all over her bed trying to find something to wear to graduation. Bella's annoyed. She knew exactly what she wanted to wear, but it was gone. Alice comes through the window and brings her a present and tells Bella to admit it. She's a lifesaver. Bella agrees and said thanks. Alice asks if she was going to open it. When Bella didn't move, Alice opens it and holds up something. Alice tells her that she picked blue because it's Edward's favorite color on her. But Bella wasn't listening. Alice tries to protest, but Bella tells her to forget the clothes. The one who stole her things and the new vampires in Seattle are all together. Someone is using holes in her vision to keep her from seeing the newborns. The timing was too perfect to not make contact. He knew that. It has to be the same one. The one who is making the army is also the one who stole the things. After a long pause, Alice agrees that Bella is right.
Wait, they didn't think of that before? They didn't put two and two together?
Apparently not. I just thought it was obvious. Yeah,
Judging. I am harshly judging.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we're dedicating like a whole chapter to this. Oh, okay. I thought this was something that was already established.
Again, what? I talked about it in previous episode where we learn about Jasper's past, but like, they can't, if they're that old, they've lived this long, they can't be that dumb. Like, it took, we immediately,
Yeah, I know.
Maybe what this little coven needs, this little clan, don't like clan, what they need is a couple of 28-year-old women who've seen enough true crime. They'll be like, all right, I'm going to help all of us actually like stay on the right track here and not be stupid because like all of you are 50 shades of stupid. Why did I think these characters were smart in my youth?
Because you didn't have your frontal cortex.
God bless the frontal cortex. Have that on merch.
So Bella continued that Edward was wrong, though. That was a test to see if he could get in and out undetected safely. He didn't take her scent for proof he found her. He took it so others could find her. Alice's eyes were wide with shock. Bella is relieved they're going after just her and not trying to kill all of the Cullens. Alice assures her that if they want her, they have to go through all of them first. But it's helpful that they at least know what they want. Yep. Suddenly, Charlie knocks at the door asking if she's ready. They'll be late. Bella dressed in what Alice gave her, a sweater and skirt, and grabbed her yellow graduation robe and ran down the stairs. Charlie says she looks nice and asks if that's new. Edward pulled up in the driveway and they all drove over together. This was Charlie's compromise. Bella wanted to ride with Edward and Charlie wanted to drive her. Edward tells her she looks beautiful and asks if she's excited. When she says not really, Charlie responds, quote, Bella, this is a big deal. You're graduating from high school. It's the real world for you now. College, living on your own. You're not my little girl anymore. Charlie choked up a bit at the end. End quote.
I'd believe it a lot more if it wasn't for the last chapter, but okay, Charlie.
Bella moans and tells him to not get weepy. He growled back, who's weepy? And then asks why she isn't excited. Bella tells him maybe it just hasn't hit her yet. Charlie says it's a good thing Alice is throwing this party then. When they arrive, Edward is pushed to the front and Jessica waves at Bella with a smile and is waving and calling to her. Bella walked down to Jessica to stand by her. Bella and Angela are watching Jessica, wondering why she is suddenly so friendly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Jessica starts babbling immediately, saying, it's so amazing. It's like they just met and now they're graduating. She then asks if she remembered her first day here and how they were immediately friends, and how she'll be going to California and Bella to Alaska. She's going to miss Bella so much and insists that they need to get together sometimes. She is happy that Bella is having the party because they haven't spent much time together in a while and they'll all be leaving soon. If that isn't the fakest crap,
It's I know, I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, put on my dealing with mean girls vision here. Like, what is she trying to angle out of this?
Well, one, the Cullens party. She wants to go to the Cullens party. That's
I
what
thought
I'm
she was already
assuming.
invited.
She is invited.
Ah.
But two, what I can see, she might be that girl in high school that tries to like make amends with everybody quickly before they all leave and never really see each other again. Because looking back, there was that girl that tried to like mend every single relationship that they had at the very last second of high school.
Yeah, that definitely. Okay.
Or it's like all of a sudden that like impending doom feeling comes and you're like, I'm never going to see these people again in my life. Oh my gosh.
I suppose if they
Why
were
did I treat
friends
them
at
like
one
crap?
point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay. I guess I'm for my own reasons, I'm like, I'm not giving her too much grace because I'm like, the flippy floppy there, I don't like it. I do not like it.
No. But Bella was glad that she could at least end things on a good note with Jessica. Jessica talked on and on. The ceremony started. Alice and Edward walked across, and a while later, Bella's name was called. She heard cheering from the back of the gym and looks to see Jacob pulling Charlie on his feet and Billy next to them. They're all hooting in encouragement. Bella flashed them a smile.
Oh, that's actually sweet.
I know. At the end of the ceremony, Jessica throws her arms around Bella and says she has to promise that they won't lose touch. Bella hugged her back and tells her she's glad to have known her. It's been a good 2 years. Jessica sighed and sniffed, agreed, and then squealed Lauren and waved her over. Bella saw Angela and Ben. They were surrounded by family, and she decided that she would congratulate them later. Edward comes up behind her and congratulates Bella, then says it doesn't look like she's over her nerves yet. If it's about the party, don't worry, it won't be horrible. Bella is still looking for Alice, and Edward tells her that she ran out once she got her diploma. Bella looked at his expression and asked if he's worrying about Alice. He didn't want to answer, but eventually said that she was translating Battle Hymn of the Republic into Arabic and then moved on to Korean Sign Language. She's hiding something. Bella tells him to stay calm. In a hurried whisper, she continues that she thinks he's wrong about what's coming and she thinks it's coming for her. His face turned whiter.
As if it's possible.
No.
Like, he's already corpse pale, honey.
Can't get paler than dead.
Pretty sure that's a foundation shade.
Paler than dead?
Yeah.
Oh,
Paler than
okay.
dead. Or corpse white, actually, I
Corpse
think.
white? I could see that.
Yeah.
Bella reminds him to be calm as Charlie comes to congratulate her. Jacob and Billy had to take off. It was nice of them to show up, though. Quote, so where do you want to go out for dinner? Charlie asked. The sky's the limit. End quote. Ah, Charlie. Charlie suggests his favorite restaurant, The Lodge. Bella isn't a fan, but she was so anxious she wouldn't be able to eat anything, so she agrees. Charlie asks if Edward will come. Edward politely declines and says he has plans with his family. He then excuses himself and turns to leave. Charlie, looking guilty, asks what he said. Bella reassured him that it wasn't him. Charlie asks if they're fighting again. Bella tells him no and to mind his own business. Quote, you are my business. End quote.
Okay, Charlie's redeeming. I do appreciate that he is at least having wherewithal to, be conscious of, did I just offend Edward?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm back on Team Charlie. Charlie's doing good. We can't all be perfect.
Well, at least that's one good thing that Stephanie is good at.
Yeah, no one's a perfect character. Except for the ones that are flat. We don't really get a lot about Esme. She's like one of the least flushed out. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Bella rolls her eyes and they go. After dinner, Bella waited for Charlie in the car and Edward came to her from the shadows. Bella asked how he is, and Edward apologizes for losing it back there. He has a handle on himself now. He's glad that she told him. It's something that he needed to know. Charlie is heading out, and Bella tells him she'll have Charlie drop her off at the Cullens. Charlie gets in the car and asks if she's worried about the party. She's never been one for parties. Bella tells him she wonders where she got that from. Charlie laughed and said she looks really nice and wished that he thought to get her something, and then apologized. He feels like he didn't always do everything he should. Bella tells him that's ridiculous. He does a fantastic job, and she's glad she came to live with him. Charlie responds, maybe, but he sure slipped up. Look at her hand. He never thought he needed to teach her how to throw a punch, but he guesses he was wrong. Bella thought he was on Jacob's side. Quote, no matter what side I'm on, if someone kisses you without your permission, you should be able to make your feelings clear without hurting yourself. You didn't keep your thumb inside of your fist, did you? No, Dad. That's kind of sweet in a weird way, but I don't think lessons would have helped. Jacob's head is really hard. Charlie laughed. Hit him in the gut next time.
This is what I wanted from Charlie last chapter. Oh, there we go.
Next time? Aw, don't be too hard on the kid. He's young. He's obnoxious. He's still your friend. I know, I sighed. I don't really know what the right thing to do here is, Dad. Charlie nodded slowly. Yeah, the right thing isn't always real obvious. Sometimes the right thing for one person is the wrong thing for someone else. So, good luck figuring that out. Thanks, I muttered dryly. End quote.
Sorry, real quick. I don't know if you remember this this meme, this TikTok or whatever. And it's a voiceover of this girl going, he's just a boy. Hit him with your car.
Yes.
Like, that's what's going through my head right now. She's like, what's the right thing to do? He's just a boy. Hit him with your car. Don't do that. Don't do that. In the context of the book.
Yep. Okay. So Charlie asks where the turnoff is again. It's impossible to find in the dark. Bella points it out.
How is it already dark? Graduation ceremonies take place in the morning. Sorry, why am I trying to apply logic to a vampire story? Silly me.
There's no logic here, Connie.
Of that, we are painfully aware.
All right, you ready?
No, but let's go.
This is the end of the chapter, though, so It's just a little longer. The black velvet darkness was interrupted ahead. just where the Cullens drive should be. Someone had wrapped the trees on either side in thousands of twinkle lights, impossible to miss. Alice, I said sourly. Wow, Charlie said as we turned onto the drive. The two trees at the entry weren't the only ones lit. 20 feet or so, another shining beacon guided us towards the big white house. All the way, all 3 miles of the way. She doesn't do things halfway, does she? Charlie mumbled in awe. Sure you don't want to come in? Extremely sure. Have fun, kid. Thanks so much, Dad. He was He was laughing to himself as I got out and shut the door. I watched him drive away, still grinning. With a sigh, I marched up the stairs to endure my party.
Also, just from the movie House,
Yeah.
it's not matching up with the book to me.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, well, because think of the house in
guess.
the movie. I like the house in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's not a big white house. Like, you don't see the wide, expansive driveway. And you don't, like, the book, especially in Twilight, it makes it seem like you drive, like, straight up to it, like a traditional driveway.
I
Where,
forgot it was the side drive.
yeah,
Little uncomfortable. It makes me. It's not the same.
no, it feels crowded in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it looks nice, but it feels crowded, which is the exact opposite of what they had wanted for their space.
Yeah.
Is that a weird thing to get hung up on? Yes.
Probably.
But is there a bunch of weird stuff in this book?
Yes.
Yeah. Could be worse. Not sure how. Could be worse.
Anything else on chapter 16?
Nah, let's go 17.
All right. Alliance. Edward greets Bella by giving her a hug and a kiss. The kiss scared Bella. There was too much tension. It was like he was afraid they only had so much time left. But Bella couldn't think about that. She pulled away and tells Edward, let's get this stupid party over with. Edward tells her he won't let anything happen to her, then asks if she's ready to celebrate. Edward holds the door open for her. The inside of her home had been transformed into a nightclub. Bella looks to what Alice is wearing and thinks that Bella, is underdressed. Alice and Edward assure her that she isn't and that people will show up. They're all dying to see the inside of the Cullens mystery house. Edward refused to let Bella go, so he led her around with his arm around her. They went and talked with Jasper and Carlisle and updated them on Bella's epiphany. They discussed their attack plan on the army. The doorbell rang and suddenly everything was normal. Carlisle's face turned from stress to a warm, genuine smile. Alice turned up the music and then danced to the door. The first guests were Jessica, Mike, Tyler, Connor, Austin, Lee, Samantha, and even Lauren. Bella went to greet them, and then Angela, Ben, Eric, and Katie arrived. The party was marketed as a joint party for Bella, Alice, and Edward, but Bella was by far the most popular. Bella and Alice went about mingling and chatting with different people. Edward was still at Bella's side with his arm glued around her waist. While Bella was talking to Jessica, Edward suddenly dropped his hand and whispered in Bella's ear to stay there. He'll be back. Edward moved to the kitchen doorway and leaned down, but Bella couldn't see who. Bella excused herself from the conversation with Jessica. Edward had been talking to Alice, but he was gone now. Alice's face was expressionless. Bella begged Alice to tell her what she saw. The doorbell rang, and Alice asked who invited the werewolf. Bella never expected Jacob to actually show up. Alice tells her to go take care of it. Jacob called to Bella, and Bella saw that it wasn't just him. Quill and Embry joined as well. Jacob was waving and was calm, but Quill and Embry were tense and looked like they were about to bolt any second. Bella asked what he was doing there. He reminds her that she was the one who invited him. Quote, in case my right hook was too subtle for you, let me translate. That was me uninviting you. End quote.
Yep. Go, Bella. There we go.
Jacob tells her to not be a poor sport. He brought her a graduation present and everything. Bella crossed her arms. She didn't want to fight with Jacob right now. She needed to know what Alice saw and what conversation is going on right now. Bella tells Jacob to take it back to the store. She has to do something. She was ignoring Jacob while she was scanning for the Cullens, for any of them. Jacob tells her he didn't get it from the store. He worked really hard on it, actually, so please don't pretend like he's not here. Bella tells him that she isn't ignoring him, but she has a lot going on right now. Jacob puts his hand under her chin and pulls her face up and asks if he can get a few seconds of her attention. Bella jerked away from him and tells him to keep his hands to himself. Jacob instantly apologizes. Quote, I really am sorry about the other day, I mean, too. I shouldn't have kissed you like that. It was wrong. I guess, well, I deluded myself into thinking that you wanted me to. End quote.
He's kneading my arm.
Yeah, he's happy. I can hear him purring from here.
Oh yeah, he is purring hard. I don't know how much of it is for me and how much is the fact that he can scratch his head on the mic. That's the real reason you're here, isn't it?
Probably.
It's like warm laptop, mic.
He's happy.
Very.
All right. Bella agrees. Deluded is a perfect description. But fine, apology accepted. She then tries to excuse herself, and Jacob sounded defeated and tells her he gets it. She'd rather be with her real friends. He should know that that isn't fair. Jacob refused to look at Bella. Bella, unable to get his attention, asks what he made her. She faked enthusiasm and held out her hands and tells him that she is waiting. Jacob rolled his eyes and took out a small, loosely woven bag. Bella tells him thanks, it's super pretty. Jacob tells her the present's inside. Bella had issues opening it, so Jacob opened it for her. It was a silver bracelet. He didn't make the bracelet, but he made the tiny miniature red wooden wolf charm. Bella was blown away. Billy had taught him how to make it. He figured that maybe this would make her remember him every now and then. Bella asks him to help her put it on. He fastens it and asks if she'll wear it. Of course she will. Quote, he grinned at me. It was the happy smile that I loved to see him wear. End quote. Bella then started looking at the room again for any of the Cullens, and Jacob asked why she was so distracted. She tries to lie, but Jacob calls her out and says that they should also probably know whatever is going on. Bella admits that he's probably right, but she doesn't know what actually is happening yet. Jacob then realizes Alice saw something, but that's not all. Bella isn't telling him something, and it's something big. Jacob called over Quill and Embry and tells her to tell him what she does know. Suddenly, Alice came back down. She put her arm around Bella and whispered to her that she needs to talk to her. Bella tells Jacob that she'll see him later, but Jacob blocks their way with his arm and demands to know what's going on. Jasper steps between them, but Alice interjects and tells Jasper it's okay. He has a point. Jasper didn't relax, but Alice tells them the decision has been made. They're coming here to Forks. One of them had a shirt of Bella's in her vision. Jasper tells them that they can't let them get that far. There isn't enough of them to protect the town. Jacob needs clarity. What is coming? Alice tells him they're kind and lots of them. They're coming for Bella, and that's all they know. Jacob asks if there are too many for them. Jasper chimes in that they have a few advantages and it'll be an even fight. Jacob smirks and tells them, no, it won't be even. Suddenly, Alice's face changes from despair to delight. This is excellent. Of course, everything just disappeared, which is inconvenient, but with all things considered, she'll take it. Jacob tells them that they all have to coordinate. It won't be easy for them, but this is more of their job than theirs. Bella interrupts them and tells Jacob he has to stay out of this, then begs Alice to tell them no, they'll get killed. Jacob, Embry, and Quill laugh, and Alice tells her that if they are all separated, they could all get killed, but together it'll be no problem. Alice isn't sure how many there will be. It's been changing all the time. As of today, the count is at 21. It's a long story, and this isn't the place for it. So later tonight, they will have a strategy meeting. If they're going to fight with them, they'll need some instructions. Jasper has never considered them all working together. This has to be a first. Jacob agrees that this is odd, but they have to go to Sam. They can meet at 3 a.m., about 10 miles north of Hoa Forest Ranger Station. If they come from the west, they can follow their scent in.
Wait, hold on. Hoa is in Hoa, 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 Hoa.
I don't know. It's HOH, and that's all I can think of.
Oh. Also, not my real saying, but come on, that was spot on to the memes.
Jacob agrees and says they'll be there. The three wolves turn to leave, and Bella calls after him and begs him to not do this. He turns back to grin and tells her, "Don't be ridiculous." She is giving him a much better gift than the one that he gave her. Bella shouted no again. Quote, he didn't respond. He hurried to catch up with his friends who were already gone. I watched helplessly as Jacob disappeared. End quote. End of chapter 17.
I'm still so frustrated by the fact that like none of them could have put two and two together.
I don't know how they didn't.
That is the biggest break from reality she is trying to get us to accept, Stephanie.
Well, it's like, okay, Bella not putting two and two together. We know
Yes.
this. We know this.
Yes. Bella being the one to put two and two together when the collective span of almost 1,000 years between all vampires and however many degrees and life experience, they can't put two and two together?
It's not realistic. It's not realistic.
No, I'm sorry. That's like asking us to believe that Jesus sells hot chocolate on the corner of 3rd Street. Actually, that would not be the weirdest thing that has happened anymore. If there was a second coming, after everything that's happened since 2020, I'd be like, well, man, that tracks. Wow, how weird is that? I don't even have a situation that I can be like, oh, you're asking us to believe that. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but like with all this, I don't know, Carlisle, Jasper should have saw that coming.
A battle tactician.
He's a strategist.
Yeah.
That's how his brain works. He should have, like, he's the one that looks at a situation and he can come up with all the different possibilities. You cannot tell me he didn't have this in his brain.
Right. Remember how like efficient and smart they were when it was in the first book with like James and they're like identifying patterns, be a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're all like, we don't know.
Inconsistent.
Annoying. It brings you out of the story. It just brings you out.
It does. And it's like I get it when you're thinking all these different things and you're overwhelmed and you miss one thing. I get it, but this is like too obvious for no one to have thought of.
I don't no. Sorry. No. Not buying it. Not
No.
buying it at all.
I just assumed in previous chapters, like until they said it, I assumed that it was too obvious to outright say.
Yeah, no, okay, Stephanie. Okay. And yet now, if all of these people were actual high schoolers, like legitimate, non-immortal high schoolers, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I could believe that. You're asking too much. You're asking too much, Stephanie.
Way too much.
No, we've given you too much. We can't. No. Delulu, girl. Delulu. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on this chapters?
No. I know it was a short chapter, but there's not much to comment off of because it's not realistic. So
yeah. If you're looking for more commentary, see our 15 and 16 episode.
Yeah, that's a longer one for you.
That one could have been even longer, but we tried to keep it short.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We will see you next Saturday for chapters 18 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it feels any more believable.
Meh.
Yeah, that's fair. Until then, adios.
Bye.
Too far off. Too far off.
No.
No.
Just no.
No.